Hello, you may have seen that I've launched a challenge, CSS the World Flags, and this video is going to show you how I would do this, but first let's go through the constraints once more. So this is CSS only, no JS, no SVG, one div per flag, no children, no pseudo elements, no text content in the divs, no external resources, no background images via URL, no borders and shadows, and they all should use the same background, and this background is a single linear gradient with less than 10 stops. So they all should have the same linear gradient background, one linear gradient. So this is the fork of the starting pen which I made. And here I already have the colors. I'm just going to make a few of the flags, not all of them, just a few to give you an idea. And you can get the colors, they should be in a table, like there. And if you don't find them in a table on the page, then you can just look at the SVG, bring up DevTools, and inspect something, and then look for fill. Okay, there it is, and you can change format and stuff like that. Okay, good. Now let's get back to this pen, and we're going to, I have some basic styles of display flex and stuff like that. I'm going to set the same height on all flags. And here I'm also going to have a ratio. And this is going to be the aspect ratio, which controls the width. So in most cases, this is going to be 3 to 2. So 3 width, 2 height. And this is going to be a calc value. And I need to interpolate the height. And here for the height property, I just have that h value. Okay, now here, okay, I'm going to have a first color and a second color. And I'm going to take the first color to be something that's a very common red. I hope I remember this correctly. And this one is just going to be white. Okay, so now I'm starting to see something. And here I'm going to have a stop. And this one is going to be 0 here. And I'm going to need to set a value for this stop. And if I normally have 3 stripes of equal width, this is going to be calc 100% minus okay, over 3, sorry, I was thinking about something else. So yeah, this is the first stripe, and if I want to have 3 stripes, I need one more set like this. So I'm going to add it on the next line, and I'm actually going to call it like that. And with a default, that's something like this, except here I need to change the index 1, and this one is going to be 2. Okay, and I'm also going to need to set something for the last color, and that's going to be and the reason this doesn't work is because I need a separator, a comma. But if I'm not going to have this line, if I'm just going to have empty instead of it, I can't just put a comma outside. So I need to put it inside in here. And I can't put it like this, like in SAS. I need to use unquote. So I'm actually going to set it here. And now this works. Okay, so here for the flag, I'm going to need to and I'm going to have 1, and then I'm going to have 2 here. And if I uncomment everything, I just get this. So this is the flag I've been looking for, except it has a different aspect ratio, so I need to change the ratio here as well. So yeah, this does it for changing the ratio. Here for Belgium, I'm going to have something similar. So actually, I'm just going to take stuff from here and paste it here. Okay, and then I'm going to delete the stuff. It also has a different aspect ratio again, so which is a bit more unusual. And it's also vertical, it's not horizontal anymore. As you can see, the stripes are vertical. So if I want vertical stripes, I need to change the direction here. So here I'm going to have by default a direction that's just nothing, a space by default. So I'm going to do something similar here. I'm going to have a space, which, and this is going to be my default here, space. And in this case, in the case of Belgium, my direction is going to be so this is how I get a vertical flag. Now the thing is, here, as you can see, I have quite a few vertical flags. So I might do something of the kind like have a silent class here. So something like this. Vertical. So this is going to be flags with vertical stripes. Okay, and here I'm going to have exactly, let's collapse this as well, this direction from here. And here I'm going to have include vertical. Okay, so extend, sorry. Include this for makes sense, sorry. So yeah, this does it. And here, again, I'm going to take these values. And for the next flag, as you can see it here, again, I'm going to have 3 colors. I'm just going to uncomment everything. Oh, I'm also going to need, okay. I'm also going to need to set the direction, and that's going to be 135 degrees, comma, I think. Okay, yeah. And also, as you can see, the stops are not properly positioned anymore. Where are you? Okay, here, as you can see. So I need to change the stops. And I'm thinking just changing the first one, since the second one is 100% minus the first one. So like this. and as you can see, the second one changes as well. Okay, so now that I've done this, the next flag only has 2 stripes. So let's see how we can deal with that kind of case. So here I'm only going to set the first stripe, which is red, because the second one is white, which is the default for the second stripe. So that's why I'm just going to set the first one. But I want to have just those stripes. And here I can do more silent classes. So I can do something like this. So for n from 2 to 6, stripes n. So this is going to be the silent class. I'm going to have if n is smaller than 3, then I'm going to have that L1, that line is just a space. And I'm also going to do something like this. Stripes odd, no, stripes even, stripes even, and here I'm going to have that. Actually, I can't exactly do it. Actually, I can. No, I can't do it like that. I can't do it with even stripes. But I can do something like this. If I modulo 2 is 0, then I can have s. No, that's not I. It's n. N. So half of n minus 1 is 50%. Okay. So yeah, this should work. And finally, I'm going to have if n greater than 3, but that's for later. Now let's collapse this. And here for Indonesia, I'm going to have extend stripes 2. So I have this flag. I can do something else here. Box shadow 0, 0, 1 pixel. Okay, and now I have a bit of a border around them. This one is okay. These are all the standard proportion. Okay, now if I have 4 stripes, I'm going to go back here, and here I'm going to have a loop. So for I from 3 to n, I'm going to have a j, which is I minus 1, and I'm going to set L, j. This one is going to be, and the index is going to be j, and again for the stop value I'm going to have j index, so s. And actually I'm going to need a separator before, so that's going to be comma, and here I'm going to have something similar, except the stop is going to be 0, and this one is going to be I, not j. Okay, so now I can do the 4 stripes. I can collapse this. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to delete these. Oh, not those as well. Just up to there. Okay, and here I'm going to add another line. And this one is going to be just a space, so nothing by default. And here I'm going to have extend stripes 4. Okay. And I'm going to need to set some default values here for S2, and this one is going to be by default, and I'm going to have so I have these defaults there. Now I'm going to do something like this, 25%. So let's see the compiled CSS. Oh, okay. Now I saw what I was missing. So here I'm missing a comma. Sorry about that. Now this fixes it. Okay. And I have my 4 stripes. And I can collapse all this stuff that I've used before. And now let's see for 5 stripes. Actually, I think this is going to be 4, not 3. This is going to be 5 stripes. So here I'm going to have a different direction as well. This one is going to be to right bottom, and obviously comma. Oh, okay, that's what's wrong. Okay, so and then here I'm going to have extend stripes 5. Okay, and here similarly L3, and again I'm going to have something like this, just 3 and 4, and this one's going to be 0. Now I'm going to have S0, which is 38%, I think it was, and then I'm going to have S1, which is going to be 42%, and then I'm going to have S2, which is going to be calc Okay, so this does it. And I'm going to have something pretty similar for Thailand, except I'm only going to have a C0 and C2. And again, I'm going to delete these. This is because the second stripe is white, which is the default, so I'm not going to set that again. And I'm also going to have something like this. Extend stripes 5. And I'm going to have, thing here is there are 5 stripes. The middle one is twice as big as the other ones. So the first stop, S0, is going to be at calc 100% minus 100% over 6, sorry. I keep thinking forward, and S1 is going to be calc 2 times S0. Okay, and then I'm going to have S2 Okay, so this gives us this flag as well. So these are all the flags I had planned for today. And let's look at the aspect ratios. Is any of them? No, these are all the default aspect ratio. So now if we're going to look at the code, we have 108 lines. And if we look at the compiled CSS, we have, let's see, actually fewer lines for the compiled CSS, which is pretty good actually. So here you can see that I have these with 5 stripes. I have them grouped, and I don't need to repeat this stuff. Actually, here I can do something like can I interpolate stuff inside comments? That would be cool. I've never tried this before, to be fair, so let's see. Yes, it works with 2 stripes, with 4 stripes, and 5 stripes. Okay, so yeah, this is pretty much what I wanted to show you. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and this is it for today.